Yes!
And I'm Linnea.
Welcome to the Transcript.
This week, Jared and John recap this past week's NFL and basketball games.
Smarts and Crafts makes rockets with Mr. Lucey, and Hamped Up discuss the transition from a high school to college athlete.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode to get more information on the new student-run magazine, Heartstrings.
On Monday, scientists from the International Astronomical Union's Minor Planet Center announced the discovery of 20 previously unknown moons in orbit of Saturn. This new information brings Saturn's total moon count to 82, only 3 above Jupiter's 79. Scott Shepard, an astronomer at the Carnegie Institute for Science, told the Associated Press, quote, "It was fun to find out that Saturn is the true moon king," unquote. Shepard reported that the moons were discovered from observatories in Hawaii and that there may yet be 100 as yet undiscovered minuscule moons in our solar system. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court met to determine an important question: is the LGBTQ+ community protected by the Civil Rights Act of 1964? The case centers around the use of the word sex and whether or not it pertains to biological sex or sexual orientation. The court will be hearing appeals from 3 cases: Gerald Lynn Bostock versus Clayton County, the Second U.S. Circuit for Donald Zarda, and Amy Stevens versus R.G. and G.R. Harris Funeral Homes. The Supreme Court will release its decision sometimes within the next few weeks. Last week, the White House announced that Turkey will soon be invading an area of northeastern Syria that is currently held by the United States' Kurdish allies. The news led to some backlash from major GOP players such as Senators Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, and Marco Rubio, who expressed concern that Washington was abandoning its Kurdish allies in the region.
On Tuesday, September 24th, Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi announced that House Democrats will be launching an impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump. For those of you who don't know, impeachment is a way for Congress to reprimand a president and potentially remove them from office. The impeachment inquiry will most likely focus on a whistleblower report that was recently filed by an anonymous member of the intelligence community, meaning someone working for the NSA, CIA, or a similar agency. The report outlines a July 25th phone call the president had with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. In the call, Trump allegedly pressured the Ukrainian president to open an investigation into a largely unfounded conspiracy theory involving Joe Biden, Trump's political rival and 2020 presidential candidate, and his son, Hunter Biden. Trump claims that the Bidens engaged in corruption and abuse of power when Joe Biden was working with Ukraine as vice president. The whistleblower also suggested that the president may have used a military aid package that Ukraine was scheduled to receive from the United States as leverage, and implied that the United States would delay the aid if Ukraine did not open an investigation into the Bidens. If the report is truthful, it would mean that the president abused his office for personal gain, because Trump has a personal political interest in defeating Joe Biden in 2020, should Biden be the Democratic nominee. We will see in the coming weeks and months how the impeachment inquiry will play out, which politicians will be in favor of impeachment, and how the impeachment inquiry will factor into the 2020 presidential election. I'm Elijah Bacall, reporting for the Transcript.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm John.
This Sunday, the New England Patriots beat the Washington Redskins 33-7.
The Patriots' offense came to life in the second half of the game, scoring 3 touchdowns after halftime.
New England's top-ranked defense remaining strong, allowing the first quarter touchdown but nothing more.
The Patriots forced 10 punts and 2 turnovers. Patriots kicker Mike Nugent missed his first extra point but then drilled his next 5 kicks.
Next up for the Patriots is the Thursday night matchup with the New York Giants in the Gillette Stadium.
The Celtics beat the Charlotte Hornets 107-104
106 at home next week. They will play Orlando Magic at Amway Center in Florida Friday, October 11th at 7 p.m.
Hi, welcome to Smarts and Crafts.
Today, we are here with
Mr. Kevin Lucey.
What do you do at the high school?
I'm the computer science teacher.
Today, we're going to be shooting off rockets.
Rockets.
Before you were a computer science teacher, what did you do?
I worked a lot of jobs. I said I was an IT person for a couple of years. I worked at McDonald's for a year. I was a mad scientist. Basically, you just went to different schools and made stuff explode for elementary school kids. And I actually worked at Walmart for 3 hours. Well, every Friday and Saturday night, I go to karaoke.
Ooh.
Yeah. One time, a friend dared me to dress up like a Viking and sing the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
So I did.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No one knows what they're doing. That's the first thing they teach you when you're an adult. So I have cats.
Yeah.
I have 2 cats. They're both 6 months old, brother and sister. I have a black cat who's huge named Sherlock and a calico named Watson. They're my children. I'm a catty daddy. Can I say that?
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Belchertown. Actually went to school with Mr. Whalen. I didn't know him that well. He was 2 grades above me, so we never really talked.
What were you like in high school?
I was kind of like, I was a nerd, but I also had friends in every clique. Is that supposed to be like that?
I think so.
Rocket! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rocket.
There we go.
Ho ho!
Now that we finished the rocket, test it out now.
Let's try it out.
Let's explode things!
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Ready for this? For students who play sports in high school at an elite level, senior year is often not the end of their athletic careers. Student athletes who excel in their sports look for opportunities to continue their success at the collegiate level, with some starting to reach out to coaches and formulating their best plans of action as early as their sophomore year. Over the years at Northampton High School, there have been many student commitments at all division levels. We sat down with hopeful future college athletes at NHS to better understand the process and the steps it takes to get there.
Once high school ends and June kicks around, I have training with another program that's about 35-40 minutes away in eastern Massachusetts, and it is 4 to 5 days a week training, working out, lifting, baseball practice, things like that. And we play in the summer, we travel. This summer I went to Long Island, Maryland, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, everywhere for tournaments, and colleges go to those tournaments to see us play.
My process really started when I was a freshman, even though I had been playing AAU basketball for like 4 years at that point. So basically by then I was just like contacting colleges like as much as I can, just being proactive in that, and sending emails and just getting out there to play in front of them.
Next year I'm playing lacrosse for a PG year, which is just an extra year of high school. I'm taking a PG year to further my academic and athletic career. It'll definitely increase my chances because they have more time to look at me and I have more time to progress in school and in sports.
Starting summer after my freshman year, I got multiple emails in the summer, text, phone conversations with schools Many of those didn't pan out, but recently I've toured a couple schools, University of Maine, Long Island University. I'm going to University of Hartford soon. Schools like that I'm really looking forward to playing baseball at.
I committed to play basketball to Assumption College in June. And that was kind of tricky because usually in July there's like big tournaments where basically like every coach from every university can go to. So it was kind of tricky for me to figure out, because if I committed before that, I didn't know if I would get more offers after that period of tournaments. So it was definitely a quick decision I had to make, but it was probably the best decision I could have made.
We also sat down with Mount Holyoke field hockey coach Andy Whitcomb to get her perspective on the college recruitment process.
How does the college recruitment process work from the perspective of a coach? I think it starts early on. I think in Division III, it starts probably a little bit later than Division I and II. But nonetheless, somewhere around someone's sophomore year, we're usually at a recruiting event, watching players compete, or we'll get a lead on a player from a high school coach, or we go to a high school game. And once they reach their junior year, first of their junior year of January 1st, then we are able to actively recruit them, and they can take an official visit.
On Monday, the boys soccer team lost their game against Southwick 5-2, and the girls team lost their game against Chicopee 3-0. Last Thursday, the field hockey team tied their game against East Longmeadow 2-2. The golf team lost their match against South Hadley on Tuesday 18.5 to 5.5. This Friday, the football team won against East Longmeadow 25-6 and has a home game this Friday against Wacona. The theme is whiteout. Come support.
Hi, I'm Shiloh Hammerlin.
And I'm Kobe Grayson, and welcome to a new segment called Let's Talk, where we look at an issue and ask you, the viewer, what you think.
This Monday marks the 4th year of Northampton's celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day, a holiday which has evolved from the traditionally known Columbus Day. While some see it as simply a day off, others look at it as a time to reflect on our nation's complex history and cultural development.
Looking at the history of the holiday, Columbus Day celebrates the landing of Christopher Columbus in the Americas in 1492 and began being unofficially celebrated in parts of North America as early as the 18th century.
In 1937, Columbus Day was made an official holiday by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt after lobbying from the Catholic Church.
The holiday's initial intention was to honor Columbus's achievements and the explorer's Italian-American heritage.
As the 20th century progressed, however, historical perceptions transformed as individuals looked at the atrocities committed by Columbus and his crew during their explorations.
With his arrival in the Caribbean, Columbus and his men forced the native peoples they encountered into slavery and imposed barbaric forms of punishment to those that disobeyed his commands.
In many Latin American nations, the anniversary of Columbus's landing is known as Dia de la Raza, Day of the Race, a celebration of Hispanic culture's diverse roots.
With this ideology in mind, grassroots groups in the United States began efforts to change Columbus Day into Indigenous Peoples Day, with initial discussions of the holiday starting in 1977. Berkeley, California became the first city to officially recognize the holiday, with several dozen other municipalities passing similar language since.
So let's talk. What do you think about changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day? What impact do you think it has on our local community? Do you feel like this should be done on a national level?
Talk to your classmates and head on over to @DevilsAdvocateNHS on Instagram after the episode to voice your opinion.
Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Heartstrings Magazine is a literature magazine run by NHS students. The magazine aims to document teenage life through written submissions from you.
Submissions to the first issue should be emailed to or shared with heartstringsmagazine@gmail.com by October 21st. Work can be credited to you or printed anonymously.
We are looking for poetry, prose, personal essays, memoirs, or any other literary piece. Anyone who submits will receive a free issue of Heartstrings.
Be sure to get your issue October 31st.
This week's winner of 2 free Cinemark passes is Riley Delano. Please claim your prize in G16 at the end of the school day.
Thanks for watching.